Hey there everyone, Bill6901 here, and welcome to a brand new Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. I didn't think I'd be saying that at all ever again, seeing as Hasbro wasn't really interested in kind of continuing with the line. But it's back. Hasbro has brought it back to the fan base, and it's really exciting. I can't wait to see the rest of the figures in person. This one I got off eBay for about $2 more than what it's supposed to retail for. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to retail for $14.99. So I got this off eBay, and it's Supreme Leader Snoke from The Last Jedi. This is really exciting. We're getting our first 3 3/4 inch articulated figure. You know, it's more than 5 points of articulation. Of course, it's got the vintage packaging style and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the packaging as detailed as possible. Then we're going to open up the figure and see what he's all about. So let's go. All right, so here's the packaging. It's slightly different from the packaging that we're used to seeing from 2010 and all that stuff, but it's because they're trying to reach out to all the countries and not make, you know, like an American one and then an out of US version. So we're going to see the ages 4 and up, logos in different languages right here, warning logo. You've got the movie title right there, The Last Jedi, the character name right there, nice. A nice image of the character, even though because the bubble is bigger, it's a smaller picture, which kind of sucks, especially for a figure that doesn't have a lot of accessories, well, no accessories. But it's just a small gripe, it's not a big deal. You've got the Kenner logo there. That's pretty much it, nothing at the bottom. On the back, of course, they have a lot of the warning logos and all that stuff in various languages, so it takes up pretty much the whole back part. Which sucks. It really does, because I liked when the figures used to just be laid out, and then all the unreadables kind of at the bottom, and all that stuff. You have the Celebrate the Legacy of Star Wars stuff right there. If you guys want to pause the video and read it, go for it. You have the number of the figure, which is 121. They kept going rather than just starting off from, you know, 1 and moving their way up, so I'm happy about that. You can see the other figures in the wave. Including Snoke. It's not like where when it was that specific figure, it wouldn't be placed here. They're just placing them all there. So the barcode, StarWars.com, all that stuff, Disney, Hasbro. So that's pretty much the packaging. One thing to note is that they're taped on these two sides, and that kind of sucks because it's kind of like, are they using cheap glue? What's going on here? So I do have that little gripe on that. And the lettering seems a little different compared to the lettering they've used before with the other figures. Obviously, since it's a longer name, it has to be a little bit smaller. But they could have used it a little bit bigger too, because they still have enough space to do that. But yeah, that's just. Oh, and one thing to note too, it's kind of flimsy too now in terms of the card back. It kind of feels more like this style packaging, where it's very easy to bend. It's pretty much like that, whereas opposed to, say, if you use one of the older ones from 2010, it was like a nice cardboard stock, and it feels heavier. This one is definitely not the case. It's light as heck. But that's just a few small gripes that I have. As a reviewer, I feel like you have to be straightforward with everything that you think. So there you go. Let's take a look at the figure now. I'm going to open him up and see what he has to offer. Alright, I've got Sexy Snoke here. We're going to take a look at the articulation first, and then we will take a good look at what this figure, in terms of detail, has to offer. So, he has a ball-jointed neck. He can move his head about that much high, not much at all, and then that low. Of course, he can rotate all the way around. Okay. He has hinged shoulders, hinged elbows, and of course they can swivel. He has hinge wrists, you guys can see there. He has articulation at the upper torso, very good mobility. No articulation at the bottom part of the waist. He has hinged hips, look at that. Okay, he has swivel thighs right here, hinged knees, it's not double, it's a single hinge, hinged ankles, and a slight ankle pivot, not much. And of course they can rotate like that though. Alright, so let's take a look at all of the details that this ugly dude has. Let's take a quick zoom in here at the head sculpt, right? Head sculpt wise, the one gripe I have right off the bat is that he's very, very pale. Much more pale than, say, the Black Series version of this figure has. Hopefully. It's not terrible, though. I mean, like, I like the likeness. The likeness for what it is, and especially for a 3 3/4 inch figure, it looks good. The scars are pretty decent for what it is and all that stuff. I like it. If you want to open up here, you guys can see. Like, it's very detailed, you know, like, it's still ugly and freaky, you know what I mean? See, top of the head. It's very basic, so you can't expect, like, a bunch of detail. You know, his robe looks very nice. They added, like, some sparkly glitter type of thing to it, which makes it look nice. Pretty much the same thing as the 6-inch Black Series version. Hands are old and wrinkly and messed up. He's got, of course, his jewel hand. Take him off the base here really quickly. Got his... Whoop, 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 whoop. Some viewers can't see all this. No, I'm just kidding. Pretty much what we've seen on the Black Series, just shrunken down. The gold that they used, though, was really nice. Paint job wise, they didn't really cheap out, so that's pretty good. You got some white there, but that's not a big deal. You can clip off the belt, and it's pretty easy to put on and off. It's just a matter of kind of fixing the robe afterwards to get it to where it more or less looked like. Now, the one thing is that to note is that it's kind of glued from back here, as you guys can see, so you can't take it completely off, or maybe you can. I just don't want to take the risk of it, because when I tried for the articulation thing, it wasn't coming off. And this plastic part here of the neck is also glued on, kind of glued. Oh no, it's a peg. Oh cool. So it's a peg. Never mind. That makes more sense, but I don't want to take it off. I don't want to go through all that. Of course, he doesn't have sleeves going down his shoulder, so it's one full arm or whatever. There you go. Here's the back. But if you guys did desire to take it off now, you guys know it's a peg and that it's not glued on. And the eyes are very nice too, a nice blue. I mean, does he really have blue eyes? I can't wait to watch the movie tomorrow once it's released on Blu-ray to kind of take a good look at it, because I don't remember that. So in the detail department, it's pretty good. Alright, so this pretty much wraps up my review on the Vintage Collection Supreme Leader Snoke figure. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this review. Please comment down below and share your thoughts on this figure. If you guys plan to pick them up when you see them at retail, or if you plan to pick them up at a convention or even eBay, what have you. I think it's definitely worth the pickup if you guys are going to be collecting, well, mint on card, or even loose for that matter. Vintage Collection in the past hasn't really disappointed. It's always going to have some imperfections, but for the most part, it's a solid line. I'm pretty happy with the Supreme Leader Snoke figure. A good addition to the collection. It displays nicely with the Black Series throne. Obviously, it's way bigger than it should be for the figure, but it's good enough. And in terms of taking pictures and photos and all that jazz, it also works out nicely. I'll have some photos after this review so you guys can check out to see how it more or less displays out. It's really cool, and you can display them with, you know, some Praetorian Guards, Kylo Ren. You can do the you know, different scenes and all that stuff now that you have Snoke in the collection. So yeah, I honestly think it is a figure worth picking up. Hasbro did a pretty good job. Could they have done a little bit better? Yes, in terms of obviously the paint job. You know, it would have been cool if we could kind of like, I guess some customizers will be able to do it where they can like put him in a way where it seems like he's chopped the way he was in the movie. That'll be kind of fun just to see people doing that. But yeah, it's a really cool addition. So please give this video a nice thumbs up. Follow me on my social media accounts, both Facebook and Twitter, at Nabil6901. give my YouTube channel a subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification button next to the subscription button so you guys can be notified constantly of my new reviews. I do plan to review some of the other vintage collection figures from this wave once I get them. I don't think I'll get them right away. I'll get them whenever they're released in stores, but I definitely wanted to grab Snoke and see what he was all about. So Hasbro, good job. Really happy with what you guys did here. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Until my next review, may the Force be with you.